Are you sitting comfortably? Then we'll begin.
10, 9, 8, and I'm breaking away. I'm all dressed up and ready to play. 7, 6, 5, 4, and I'm all over you.
Hey everybody, Manitoba Mando here with a special request as to how to shape Sintra using the dishing method. A little bit of a definition. Dishing refers to the art of being able to take a solid piece of plastic or metal, where this whole technique just stems from. What blacksmiths used to do was, and what some still do, is take a tree stump, hollow out a curve into the stump, heat up the metal, and use the curve of the inside of the stump to essentially get a complex curve banged out of straight metal. We're going to use the same process here, except instead of using a stump, we're going to be doing it by hand, and this should show you how to go about doing it. First thing that we always do is a pattern. Now, for our intensive uses, what we're going to be doing here is making the back of some shin armor for an upgrade for my Mandalorian suit. What you might be using this for could differ. It's completely up to you, but the technique's going to remain the same. We always start with a basic pattern. As you can see, I've got it drawn out here on an 8x10 piece of paper. This area here is going to be cut out because that's what I need it for. Otherwise, I can't be able to have a really good bend as far as my ankles are concerned. But this area here that's circled, that's the shape that we're going to be dishing out. So here we have the pattern traced onto a piece of 1/8 inch thick Sintra, which is just a basic PVC sheet. Sintra is the actual brand name. Everything's cut out that I need to have cut out. It has been measured to fit on the inside of the shin guard armor on the front. And as you can see, I've transferred the area that I need to push out with a center point there. This stuff isn't really necessary. So long as you have enough idea of where it is that you need to do your dishing, you should be good to go. So now that we move on to the actual heating and application of heat to the Sintra, a couple of tips and tricks here. One, don't ever focus on one main tiny area. What you want to do is have as equal a dispersion amount of heat as you possibly can in the area that you're going to be pressing out. Simply due to the fact that if you don't, you'll wind up getting way too much in one area and not enough in another. What you want is sort of a general and continuous sort of curve as you're pressing the heated plastic down onto the ball or your knee or a screwdriver or whatever it is that you might be using. There is really no wrong or right way to be doing this. Whatever works for you is best. Always remember though, go slow. The 1/8 of an inch Sintra is not as forgiving as, say, the 1/4 inch. So if you go way too much, you might distort the plastic. Always go slow, take it easy, and take your time in doing it. So as you can see, what we have here is nothing more than a simple banister top. And this is the primary tool, quote unquote, that I use to be able to get my rounded shapes. A lot of people think that there's a huge convex way to do it. You know what? It isn't. It's a simple matter of heating up the area of the plastic that you want to have the rounded shape, placing it on top of here, and simply pressing it down. Now you're going to have to do 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 reheatings to be able to get as much of an impression as you want. That is completely up to you as an artist. For me, for what I'm going to be using it here, the shape is going to be very, very subtle, but very noticeable. So here we are pretty much with the finished product, aside from doing a little sanding and taking the point off the edges. This is pretty much as far as I was going to go with it. Again, depending on what it is that you need it for, you can make as big a bulge or as little bulge as you want. In this particular case, I got just enough to give it some definition and some shape. The extra rocket pad's going to go on the back of that. So for the most part, doing a step like this is probably overkill. But I like to have things have a little bit of shape and have it look good. But that's basically all there is to it. Once you got it to this point, you can go ahead, paint, sand, do whatever you got to do to it to finish it up. But that's about it. All there is to it. Heating, shaping with a simple banister top. And in this particular case, I actually went and used my knee as well as a rolling pin to finish it all off. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, feel free to post, and look forward to talking to you soon.